I'm David Wilson-Okamura, and I'm not an adjunct professor. I'm a full professor. I've had tenure for several years. My job is not on the line every 6 months, every semester. I'm here because, as my colleague said, what we're doing is unsustainable. You cannot pay people month-to-month wages and expect them to keep doing that until they die. We hire smart people at ECU, and they're going to move on, and we're going to lose the expertise that they've brought to us and that we've invested in. The other reason I'm talking today is because I think that paying people like that and keeping them on these short-term contracts is immoral.
Hear, hear.
Today I want to address one of the most common excuses that otherwise decent people give for treating teachers badly, with last-minute hiring and low salaries. Here's the reason that otherwise decent people give. You have heard this many times. It's their choice. It's their choice. And therefore, whatever we do to them is okay because it's their choice. I'm going to give you 2 reasons why it's their choice is not a good excuse. The first reason is it's immoral. And I'm going to speak very plainly. I'm not in the classroom today. I'm here as a citizen of North Carolina, as a taxpayer of North Carolina. And my reference point as a Christian is the Bible. I realize that's not everybody's compass point, but that's where I'm coming from. It's immoral. How can it be immoral, you ask, when it's their choice? If they want more money, they should get another job. Nobody's forcing them to be teachers. It's their choice. Well, let me ask you a question. Do we need teachers?
Yes.
I think so. If the answer is yes, then we probably should pay teachers. So the next question is, how much is a fair salary to pay teachers? Now, some people will answer back, the market decides. Why do entertainers make more money than school teachers, even though we have to have school teachers and we don't have to have entertainers? The market decides. Why do football players make more money than janitors? Now, I have nothing against football players, but if we don't have any more football players, civilization will still go on. If we don't have janitors, it's going to be the state of nature, nasty, brutish, and short, right quick. So, why do football players make more money than janitors? The market decides. We have heard that phrase, the market decides, so many times that many of us assume that it must be somewhere in the Bible. Well, I have read that whole long book many times, and it's just not in there. It never says the market decides. Here's what it does say about paying people in Colossians chapter 4, verse 1. Masters, that's you if you're a taxpayer. Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal, knowing that you too have a master in heaven. Now I realize that not everyone here is a Christian, but if you are a Christian, the standard for paying the people who work for you is not what the market decides, it's what's fair. Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal. Now, who is to say what is just and equal? Well, unfortunately, again, I've read the whole book, and there's no place in the Bible that tells you what the just and equal salary of an adjunct professor is. Okay. What it does say in Luke chapter 6, verse 31 is, and this one we all know, do unto others what you would have them do unto you. We've all heard that a lot of times. The difference is that unlike the market decides or it's their choice, this one's actually in the Bible. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, you might say, but I don't want to be an adjunct professor, so how does that apply to me? Well, under the conditions that were put in our adjuncts, I don't blame you for not wanting to be an adjunct professor. But let me offer you a test that you can apply to see whether you're following the golden rule in paying adjunct teachers. Here's the test. How would you feel if your own son or daughter wanted to be a teacher, like Gabby's parents that she was just telling us about? Would you try to discourage your son or daughter because you know that teachers are poorly paid here in the state of North Carolina, here at ECU, from becoming a teacher? You're such a smart girl. Why don't you go and do something with more job security, more benefits, some benefits, a real salary? If you would do that, if you would discourage your own child, then the salary is not just an equal. It's exploitative. It's immoral. It's what the Bible calls oppressive.
Yes.
You want somebody to do the job because society needs teachers, but you want somebody else's son or daughter to make the sacrifice? That is not just and equal. That is not moral. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Do unto other people's sons and daughters as you would have them do unto your son and daughter. That's my first reason. It is immoral to exploit teachers just because we can get away with it. The standard for a righteous person is not what the market decides. It's not what we can get away with. The standard for a moral person is the golden rule. If the teacher pay isn't good enough for your children, it's not good enough for other people's children either. The second reason that people should stop using "it's their choice" as an excuse to pay our adjuncts badly and to hire them at the last minute is that eventually people will choose not to be teachers. And when that happens, the ones who will suffer are not going to be the ex-teachers. They're going to go on because they're smart to do other things. The people who will suffer are the students. In the state of North Carolina, enrollment in teacher training programs has dropped 12% in just the last year. Think about that for a second. There are 12% teachers than last year who are signing up to become teachers. That's in just 1 year. In the last 5 years, the number of people enrolling in North Carolina teacher training programs has dropped by almost 27%. That's over a quarter drop off just in 5 years. If we keep doing this, imagine what it's going to be in 5 more years. What happened to cause that drop? A couple of things. First, teacher pay in North Carolina is low compared with our neighboring states, Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, and there is no mechanism for getting a raise if you do a fabulous job. I've just been reading the annual reports of our fixed-term adjunct colleagues. I see Jennifer Sisk over there. Jennifer is a star.
Yeah, yes she is.
She is inventive. She is hardworking. Her students love her, but we have no way to reward her except to say, you can come back next year and do it all over again. That's not how you reward good people. That's not how you treat people that you want to keep coming back. And so, they're not. They're leaving the field, or they're just not entering the field. The second thing that is driving people out of teaching is no job security. In the high schools, teachers have lost due process rights. Their tenure is not like my tenure. My tenure means I have to be horrible to get fired. For a high school teacher, all tenure means is there's a process for firing you. You can't just do it on a whim. But even that process is being stripped away from our teachers, and our adjunct faculty didn't even have that. Is it any surprise that people are having second thoughts about this profession? Some of my colleagues don't find out whether they're going to have a job here at ECU until the week before classes start. And many of them, now it's their choice, but many of them are choosing. They're saying, I can't provide for my family under those conditions. And so they're choosing not to be teachers. Jennifer, please. Please. That's not good for them, but it's really not good for our students. If we want good teachers, we need to treat them the way we want to be treated ourselves. Now we can tell ourselves, it's their choice. They should have majored in something smarter, like business. Okay, maybe, but again, you won't find that idea in the Bible. What you will find is this. In 1 Corinthians chapter 12, I told you, this is my point of reference.
Preach!
In 1 Corinthians chapter 12, Paul says, the body needs hands as well as eyes, ears as well as feet. If the whole body is an eye, says Paul, where will the sense of hearing be? Well, I would say, if everyone in the U.S. owns a small business, who is going to teach the children of the entrepreneurs? We have to have teachers. And if we have to have teachers, if we agree that we need teachers, then we need to treat teachers fairly. By which I mean the way we want to be treated ourselves. It's their choice is not an excuse to exploit teachers or janitors or anybody else. It's our choice what kind of schools we want to have. It is our choice what kind of world we want to live in.